Have you ever had that experience where you accomplish a goal and you feel really happy, at least for a little while? And it's not just goals. It can be like you got that promotion, you finish that degree, you check that adventure off your bucket list, whatever it is, you finally get to that place where you think you're going to be really happy and really excited, and you are for a little while, but then usually it just doesn't last very long. And that's because happiness isn't really something that comes from out there. It's something that's got to come from inside. We're going to talk about it in this video. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tom, and today we're going to talk about something that's really important to me, and I think it should be more important to you. I get it. I'm an Enneagram Type 7, and 7s tend to focus on the positive, and we just kind of want to be happy and find fulfillment. And I think that this is an important message for all of us, though, because we work really hard. We push ourselves. Think about it like that. You're setting all these goals, you're getting up, you're working hard, you're applying all this energy, and really for what reason? What is it that you hope to accomplish in all of this? It's like, I'm going to do all these things so that I can eventually relax and be happy. Well, what if you could relax and be happy right now? I mean, you're working for this goal that somehow seems very elusive. And maybe we need to slow down just a little bit and think about our happiness and our enjoyment with life right now. And one of the issues that comes up is moving toward external goals. Buying stuff, going on adventures. All of these things bring a temporary happiness into our lives, but it doesn't really get us that full contentment that we're longing for, because we just kind of then move on to the next goal or the next adventure. And sometimes we don't even really appreciate what we're doing right now in the moment because we're so busy thinking about what might be coming next. We accomplish a goal, we get that item that we long for, and then we're happy for a moment. And then after that settles down, we go back to that feeling that something's missing, that we need to keep pushing ourselves for the next adventure or the next goal or the next accomplishment. Okay, now I've got 3 main points that I want to talk about. But before I do that, I'm just going to put a nice beach image up on the screen. And I'm going to talk about what do I mean when I say happiness? What am I even really talking about? Happiness is a state of emotional well-being characterized by feelings of contentment, joy, and fulfillment. Does that describe you? Content, full of joy and fulfillment? It could come from experiencing pleasure or achieving a goal, or simply feeling at peace with yourself, peace with life and the world around you. Now, unlike fleeting moments of excitement, true happiness often refers to a deeper and more lasting sense of satisfaction, a sense of contentment, a sense of inner peace, which is not solely dependent upon our external circumstances in life. Happiness involves a balance between positive emotions, meaningful relationships, and a sense of purpose in your life. It's a combination of momentary feelings of pleasure and a deeper sense of life satisfaction that only comes from living in alignment with your values and your goals. Essentially, happiness is about finding contentment, both in everyday moments and in the larger picture of life. Now, I think that's what we're all living for. I think all of us want this in our lives, but sometimes it feels so distant from us, so foreign to us. And, it's obvious in the way we show up in life with grumbling and complaining and quarreling. We get discouraged, and this happens to all of us. So let's talk about 3 points that will help us embrace this kind of life. Okay, the first thing we have to understand is external happiness or external success. It's just temporary. It's kind of like fireworks. When you accomplish that goal or you get that item that you've been longing for, you're able to go on that trip and check that item off your bucket list. Whatever it is that's making you feel this happy feeling, it's temporary. Like fireworks, there's this big explosion. There's a lot of, awesome, appreciation in that moment. But then what happens to those fireworks? They kind of fade, they sort of drizzle out. And that's what happens when we accomplish something or when we buy something. When we get our way and our environment is working for us and all of our circumstances are great, like a firework, we feel this joy and excitement for a moment, but then we're kind of left with this feeling like, is that it? Now what? Now what am I going to focus on? Now what is going to capture my attention? What's next? And if anything defines this generation, it's that feeling of what's next. Real happiness isn't about constantly chasing what's next. And this is really hard for me. Like I said, I'm an Enneagram Type 7, and I'm wired to be like this. Believe me, I've been like that most of my life. But real contentment, real peace and happiness in life isn't about chasing what's next all the time, but learning to appreciate what is, learning to appreciate all of the wonderful things that we have in life. Instead of chasing after that next guitar, really sitting down and loving and enjoying the guitar you have. And that's true about all the stuff in our life, about finding gratitude and appreciating what we have rather than longing for what we don't have. That's a guaranteed way to feel frustrated in life. Longing for what you don't have all the time. The second factor that we need to realize is there is a void within us that can never really be satisfied with just accomplishing things or acquiring things. The way we're designed is we can always take in more. We can always get more. We can always want more. And, we don't live in the Garden of Eden any longer. And there's this emptiness within us that never really feels satisfied with anything in this life. Think about some of the wealthiest people you know. If you know wealthy people, and there's no guarantee if you know wealthy people, there's no guarantee that that's going to necessarily translate into happiness, joy, positivity, and contentment. Actually, when I've traveled around the world and a lot of times on mission trips to some very poor, desolate places, sometimes the happiest people I meet are people who have literally nothing. And so sometimes the most, awful and grumpiest and frustrated people that I meet are people who have an abundance. They have too much, and too much stuff sometimes creates lots of anxiety. Now we have to protect it all, and we're afraid that somebody's going to take it from us. So what's the point? The second point is there's an inner void within us that could always want more. Okay, and the third point is we need to shift our focus from the external world to a little more of the internal world. We got to move some of our focus away from, I've got to accomplish this, or I've got to own this, or I've got to purchase this, or do this in order to be happy, to recognizing that happiness is kind of a choice. Having joy is a decision that we make, that I'm going to focus on gratitude, I'm going to focus on contentment, and I actually want to be happy. And think like this, if I was already happy, what would I be doing right now? If I was already content, then would I really need to go after this goal? My identity is not defined by what I accomplish or what I own. My identity is not defined by what other people say about me. It's not defined by what I do. It's not defined by what I have. So I've got to start looking inward a little bit more, and maybe upward, looking to God to help us in this struggle. It doesn't mean we stop striving for excellence. It doesn't mean we don't push ourselves to accomplish and be all that we can. It's just recognizing that already everything's fine. Already everything is okay. I don't need to accomplish this in order to prove something about myself or in order to feel a sense of happiness. I can already have that feeling of happiness and contentment as I focus on everything that I have in life already. I am enough right now, right here and right now. So here's the challenge for you. Why don't you start today? Why don't you start by trying to take some of your focus off of everything that's got you upset and everything that's got you frustrated and all the obstacles in front of you. And just take a minute to just take a deep breath, maybe listen to some relaxing music, and just put a smile on your face and be grateful for everything that you have, grateful for the people that are in your life, grateful for your food and all of the blessings that surround you and all of the opportunities that are in front of you. I want you to live more gently. I want you to live more peacefully. I want you to live with greater happiness and more abundance in your life. And what's crazy is as you make this shift, it's probably more likely that you're actually going to be able to accomplish and achieve more in life. And you're going to do it without this anxious energy that has characterized you up until this point. So let's all make a decision to focus on gratitude, focus on Thanksgiving, and to make the decision that even if all my circumstances aren't going the way I want them to, I can still decide how I'm going to react and respond to everything. And I choose happiness. Reach out to me. I'd love to work with you. Check out this video and this playlist that I'm recommending. And as always, guys, be present to life. Only you can decide what today is going to look like.